Can modding your Toyota Tacoma be illegal? Well, good morning everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So can you make your Toyota Tacoma illegal by simply modding it? Well, you know, there are various laws and rules and stuff depending on where you live. So we're going to look at my truck generally because I know there are a few things on it that might be questionable. So first of all, let's start with tire poke. You know, in a lot of cities, in a lot of states, there are rules, requirements as to how far out your tires can poke before they're considered to be too far or illegal. Now, there's obviously good reasons for that. I mean, if your tire's sticking out well beyond the wheel well, it can throw rocks and stones and things behind it because there's nothing to stop it. Now, I have seen this on other channels. I've actually seen other people get over, or get pulled over rather. If you watch Street Speed 717, he's been pulled over several times for problems like that. Auto vlog as well. But anyway, if you look at mine, they're not too far, but they do poke out some. I don't know what the rules are here in Texas. You can see here, I do poke out beyond the wheel well, and I've never been pulled over for it. I don't know if it's a big issue or not. Of course, I don't run mud flaps. Those aren't a requirement, which I think is kind of strange if we're concerned about throwing things behind the truck. But I do have some wheel poke here. So is that considered illegal? I don't know, maybe. Next up, let's take a look, and I know the truck is at an angle right now because it slopes up a hill here. But bumper height is another concern. You know, in Ohio, where I was from, I believe they have a requirement as to how high the bumper can be up before it's considered to be illegal. Now, if you lift your truck like I have, obviously you're bringing the bumper up. Now, do I really think I have a big problem with it? I don't think I have an issue, but it is what it is. Whatever the requirement says that you have to be, if you're above that, you have a problem. So in looking at mine, again, I don't think it's a big issue, but obviously I am, and again, I know it's hard to tell here, but sitting on level ground, my bumper is obviously taller here than it would be had I just left the truck at stock height. Next up, and this is a crazy little thing that actually a few people have mentioned to me, and that is something as simple as the license plate bracket in the back. You notice I have a customized license plate bracket here. Of course, it says the channel name on it, all that good stuff. I thought it was kind of cool, but it does block a little bit of the plate. It blocks Texas. I mean, you can obviously tell that I'm from Texas, and I would think that any police officer that might be looking at my plate from the area would know that I am indeed from Texas, and it is a Texas plate. But still, on any given day. The other thing, here in Texas, we don't have the little stickers like we had in Ohio. We have this little barcode. And I'm guessing that if you get pulled over, the officer might scan that barcode. I don't know. Mine is still visible, if you can see. None of it is, well, a little bit of it is hidden over here on the side. It can be moved so you can expose it, but it's not technically fully visible. So is that illegal? I'm not sure. I don't know. Next up, we need to take a look at a mod that I just did very recently that, by the way, I think is pretty cool. Check out the install video if you haven't. I'll leave a link down below for that. But what I'm talking about are the taillights. You guys can see I put a pretty heavily smoked taillight on the truck. Here in the bright sunlight, you can still see the elements and stuff inside. The white lights, the red reflectors, all that good stuff. But nonetheless, they are very dark. Now, again, I know in some states there are rules, there are laws about having or what kind of taillight you have on the back of your vehicle. And I've had a couple people again mention to me that, well, maybe that's illegal. I don't think that it is. I have been out driving around quite a bit in the truck, and I haven't been pulled over. I haven't had any issues with it. And I did do a little test again in that video that I did the install, where you can see how brightly it lights up. They are LEDs. Everything on those is LEDs except for the reverse lights. And how often do you drive around in reverse? I don't know. I don't. So I think we're okay there. But again, another marginal mod that indeed could make the truck illegal. Next up, and this one indeed I know is illegal. I knew it was illegal when I did it. Matter of fact, when you have this mod done, you have to sign a paper if you go with the illegal option. And of course, I'm talking about the window tint here on the front. You can see here, it is actually a little bit different than the rear. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but in this light, actually, it looks kind of opposite of what it is. The fronts are actually a little bit darker than the rears. Now, I did do that kind of intentionally, in that I was trying to match the rears as best I could without being lighter. I did not want to go lighter in the front than what the rears were, so I guess I actually ended up with a little bit darker in the front. But I believe legal limit is somewhere 35–36%, something like that, here in the state of Texas, and I believe it's the same in Ohio. You can't go darker than 36%, I think it is. Mine are actually right about 28%, maybe 20%, I don't recall. But obviously, they are darker than the law allows. Now, am I worried about it? You know, to be honest, every vehicle I've had the last several years, I've had darker tint than what is allowed legally, and I've never had any issue. And I think the key to any of these problems is it's pretty simple, actually. If you're not doing anything that's going to draw the attention of law enforcement, then you're probably not going to have a problem. In other words, I don't believe that any of these things are primary offenses. Now, that doesn't mean that a cop can't pull you over and take a look if they suspect that something on your vehicle is illegal or is not in spec, I guess. But I think most times you're not going to get pulled over for any of these things unless you're doing something wrong. And by doing something wrong, of course, it can be something as simple as just speeding. If you get pulled over for speeding and the cop's walking up and he's noticed these other things wrong with your vehicle or your truck, he certainly can check and bring them up. I believe they even carry some sort of a meter that they can slip around your window, and it will tell them what the percentage is as far as tint goes. So that's a pretty easy one for them to check. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to get on here, kind of go over those things a little bit. Can you really make your Tacoma illegal by modding it? Of course. If you don't stay within the rules or the law or the specs or the tolerances that are set out there, specifically for tint or maybe even the taillights, then you can make it illegal. Anyway, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Any of these things primary offenses? Have you ever been pulled over for one of these things for the sole reason of that thing? I'd be curious to know. Also, a real quick shameless plug. If you're interested and you want to, check out my other channel. It is RobMotion JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator resting comfortably in there above everything else. Also, don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And if you would, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there and legal. Bye.